because you about to go in. Oh,
welcome back. This is BOXN1. I'm your host, Ralph Wright. I'm here with my lovely co-host, Elise Clyburn. If you don't know who we are, now you know. We're just a couple of coaches, players, trainers, referees. We have over 25 years of basketball experience on deck. This is just some of the conversations that we have in our chats, and we're sharing them with you as if you are the fly on the wall. So now you know who we are. Matter of fact, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Matter of fact, before you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. So that way you can get that little notification ding. So every time we upload one of these episodes, you'll be able to enjoy it at your leisure. With that being said, today we're about to go in. And part of that is we're going to talk about the youth movement. So we spoke about this before in some of our other videos that this year, the 75th year of the NBA, is also going to be a changing of the guard. So you're going to hear that with our themes.
What do you mean by that, changing the guard?
Changing the guard means a lot of the young guys are no longer young in the league, and a lot of them are older now. They're also on the other side of that NBA hill as far as their goes. Usually in most leagues, vet is power. But in this league today, I think the youth is about to take over. The youth is just as skilled, just as confident, and they don't really care about the guys that came before them. And that kind of arrogance, for some is, a dark cloud. But to me, I think it's beautiful for the league because it just makes for excellent competition. Like every night is not a breeze, although it might seem like some of these teams are trash. It's not. A lot of it's going to come down to coaching and the management as far as bringing personalities together. So I'm super excited for these young guys and the future of the league. I mean, we were so close to seeing two guys under 25 years old last year battling for NBA championship, and Booker and Trae Young. Like, we're an injury away, right, from even seeing that.
Yeah.
So, like, if a team like Atlanta wins the championship last year, it's kind of like what happened with Golden State. When Golden State won their championship, it was
it throws everything off in the NBA.
Yes.
So I think this came up because I was saying, I think last week every single play, every single top 10 play that the NBA does for their weekend review was a young player trying to bang on somebody. When I say bang, I think Ralph, you texted me and said, they trying to end people's careers out here or something like that. Yeah. These young players are trying to.
Jalen Green almost ended Mike Muscala's career. And Jalen Green needs more respect from these referees because there were several times I've seen him go to the basket. But let's talk about the Jalen when he tried to bang on Mike Muscala. Mike Muscala palmed his face.
Yeah, it was a foul. It was a foul the entire time. Did they call a foul?
No, they didn't.
But I think that's the referees. It's a thing when I coached, people were shocked at how many freshmen I played. Oh, they didn't earn it. They're simply better. So a lot of these referees are still older. A lot of the newer referees you're seeing, a lot of them are women. And the women they're calling fouls, right? Yeah. It's the older officials who tend to be, I hate to say it, they're in the lead position, not calling these fouls. When the women are in the lead, when in the lead means they're the first official down the court. Mm-hmm. When they're in the lead, fouls are being called. When you have those older veteran officials, they're in the lead, they're not calling these fouls for these young guys. Mm-hmm. But these young players, they don't care. They're not afraid. They've been seeing these players. They've been playing with these players on 2K. They're making more money than these players. They realize they're really well. If you're talking about a veteran, and the entirety of someone's career, these rookies, these second, third year players aren't making more money than them. When you look at the contracts that they're about to get, if you look at the contracts that Luka, Trae, Michael Porter Jr., and so on and so forth just signed, these young dudes are about to get this check.
Sponsorships too.
These young dudes have been they've been in front of hundreds, if not thousands, if not millions of people via social media for years. So this fame stuff isn't new to them. Playing ball at a high level with people watching isn't new to them. I think these young dudes, they're really out here to get it. They're really out here to prove yo, dog, I ain't for play. I'm here for a reason. I love it. Like, what players are standing out to you in this new, newer, younger guard?
I mean, I put it. I mean, when we talked, I said their captains right now of the new school is the Trey Youngs and the Lucas,
Has to,
right?
has to be.
Like that's their captain. I mean, it's crazy because we're like, oh, what about Booker who just turned 25? Like, and that's it. Like that says a lot.
He's
Booker,
kind of that floating in between class, right? Like,
yeah, he's that transition because he's been in the league for what 7 years now.
he's a veteran. He's a young vet.
Yeah, like and like even a guy like Tatum, like I'm not looking at him and even Jaylen Brown in that sense of, they're leading the new school. Like, nah, like they're at the stage where LeBron and D Wade and Bosh were when they all teamed up.
So I remember having an interview with when I interviewed Atlanta Magic 2 years ago for their preseason media day.
Mm-hmm.
I referred to Evan Fournier and Aaron Gordon. I said, so you're a young veteran on this team. They both looked at me like I'm crazy. At the time, they were 25 and 27 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked at me like I was crazy. But I don't think they realized, dude, you've been in the NBA for 7 seasons. Like, you're a veteran now at this point. And I think who you said with Booker, he's in the in-between. Like, you're no longer, you're like, age-wise, you're young. Experience-wise, NBA, you're a vet, dude.
You've been here for a minute. You've been around
the
block.
What other young players are standing out for you?
Of course, LaMelo. Of course, Ja. Which are interesting. We just talked about Anthony Edwards. Recently. You have to throw in Zion.
Oh yeah.
Whatever happens to him, if he can lose weight. There's Cade Cunningham. He just made his debut. We got Jalen Green. We got Josh Giddey. You can't. And I mean, we've done a piece on Josh Giddey, Mr. AKA Mr. Young Smooth. So
Young Smooth.
We got Young Smooth. We got Jalen Green. Like, but this draft class is special. The last draft class is deep. So when you look at the depths of these last 4 draft classes,
it's deep.
A lot of veterans, and people are wondering why some vets aren't in the league. Listen, they're out of the league not because they're not skilled.
These next players are just better.
You're talking about a league that values potential. So if they can get a young superstar or a potential young superstar that plays at the same level as a vet, they're going to take the young guy 9 times out of 10. We've both been high on Bol, but we're waiting for him patiently to get out of Denver. And then we just did this piece, and I just thought about it. I would love to see him go to Minnesota.
Oh, now that makes sense, right? Because I asked you that question when we did that video.
Yeah, and I didn't think about it then.
But like, I'm even thinking about players like Mo Bamba, who I was about to be down on for the last 2 seasons.
But I was telling you, what was I telling you?
Change. You need to change. You need to change, either change the senior or change the coach. Change the coach happened. Look at Mo Bamba. I mean, It's serious rising. I mean, but yet again, I'm looking at players like Evan Turner. If he doesn't quickly get himself back on track, he's going to be maybe a Kenneth Faried, who was huge, possibly being, I think he was up for like defense player of the year before he had injuries. Some people said he was definitely the best player in the team, but you got to play like Sabonis on your team.
You talking about Miles Turner?
Not Miles Turner. Yes, Miles Turner.
Miles Turner. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, he retired.
My fault. I'm talking about Evan Turner. Sorry.
Miles.
Miles Turner again. Miles Turner. But like, you have a player like Sabonis on your team who was he's only been in the league for 3-4 years.
No, he's been in the league for 5 or 6 now at this point.
Is it, man? I'm all off.
It's been a minute. You got to remember him and Oladipo were traded for Serge, and then they were traded again to Indiana.
Nice.
So he's been with Indiana for 3 years. So he was with Oklahoma his rookie year. So he's been at least 4, maybe 5 years.
No, you're right. But like, I'm looking at,
and 2 of them he's been an all-star.
I'm looking at Miles Turner for that, right? Like, like a player like who I thought would have been in the league by now, Kenneth Faried. He's not NBA. Like, he just quietly left because these younger guys were getting better and better.
Not only that though, the league changed. Like, you got to remember, Kenneth Faried might be the only person that's from that Olympic team that didn't willfully retire.
Oh, True. But like I'm even looking at, of course this league is always gonna put places for vets. I mean, just look at the entire LA team, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they're gonna be solid, but you're gonna see the difference in players. Like these players when they play against LA, they're not afraid. They're putting up numbers.
And so that's where, and this is where the young teams win, especially with the right coaching. If you have the right coaching and there's a lot of movement, this is what makes Phoenix dangerous. Mikal Bridges is part of that young group, right? Because he was in that Trae Young class, right? So he's part of that young group. Same with Cam, same with Cam, for Phoenix, Cam Johnson. And then that's not even to mention, who Atlanta has. Atlanta has their whole core basically is young outside of Bogdanovich, Gallo, Clint Capella. Like you have Trae Young, you have Cam Reddish, you have Kurt Horter, you got Kevin Horter, you got what's his face? Deontay Hunter. You got Hunter. And I'm not even mentioning their rookie from last year. Plus, then you get Jalen Johnson, who in any other year would have been a top 5 pick.
Now, I will say this, right? Like the NBA power rankings just came out, right? But we're not saying that this is a young man's league because I'm looking at the power rankings. All these teams, they're older teams, like roster wise. Like, so I'll just quickly say the power rankings. That way we know. So I'll say it in order. You have Miami Heat at 1, Utah Jazz in 2nd place, Golden State Warriors in 3rd, the New York Knicks at 4th, Chicago Bulls 5th, Brooklyn Nets 6th, Philadelphia 76ers 7th, Denver Nuggets 8th, LA Lakers 9th, and Milwaukee Bucks 10th, right? So for the team success, it seems like some of these older teams who have veterans who understand, they're able to out pass. But as the season goes and progresses, I'm going to go ahead and send it to. As the season goes and progresses, we're going to see these young guys, like whether it be for scoring, defense, all defense or whatever, we're going to see these younger guys' names start coming up. But I want to talk about this just because I'm loving these highlight plays. I'm loving these young players attempting to block dunks. They're getting banged on too.
Yep, he's another one.
They're getting banged on too. But guess what, dude? They're attempting. So they're not afraid. They're not backing down. They're seeing the challenge and they're facing it head up. Like when it makes me think back to when these young players would guard Kobe, they look scared. Except
the young dudes, except like the Devin Bookers, like those young dudes cherished that. Like, so when you look at even then, it wasn't much of a change of a guard. Like there's only, when you say changing a guard, look at when Kobe played Michael, right?
That was a change of guard. Iverson against Michael. We're starting to see.
It was a changing of the guard. Like these kids, like, not kids, but these young guys, they're growing into it. The league is starting to become younger. So when the league becomes even younger, now it's like, yeah, as a young vet, you look at a Booker, you look at a Tatum, and you're like, yo, these guys have been in the league, but now you got guys that are going to start coming in that they're going after those kids because they seen them in the AAU circuit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, all right, cool. Like you was just me 2 years ago. I got you. Like, I'm good. Like, that's where a guy like Anthony Edwards sticks out. That's where a guy like LaMelo's been in the spotlight since he was in 9th grade.
I think it's awesome. I think these young dogs, these young dudes, young bulls, they're not afraid. It is now when we say change of guard, in my mind, yeah, there's a lot of really good young players. But when you think of these superstars in the leagues, when you think of your KD, your Kyries, James Harden, your LeBron, these rookies, all the tier 4 players, there's a good handful of players who are going to be superstars. And those superstars are all different sizes. They play different positions. They're different from different countries. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
And then we think about the kids who are about to be drafted next year. Like there's at least 5 of them who have potential to be superstars again. And every single draft, you're going to get at least
my count is like at least 6 or 7. So and that's the thing, because I was having this conversation because somebody was like, well, do you think, the signing of the big 3 and stuff, like, so they were reflecting or trying to reflect on the LeBron effect. And I'm like, yo, it just, Miami doing the big 3 just made the league better.
Yeah.
They're like, well, what do you mean? I said because now it's next man up. Somebody has to step up to be a star
I will say
for a
this,
team.
like, even players like, you know me, I don't like Cole Anthony. You're not a huge Cole Anthony fan either.
Nope.
But from this season to now, this is where he's at. He's averaged 17.7 points a game. That's third for second-year players.
But the one thing that Cole has that we both say that makes him, he's going to be a player in the league, is his confidence. He can lack in the other parts because his confidence is so high. That confidence and hustle can take you a lot further than skill without a heart.
And that's what these players have. They have confidence and hustle.
And that's what makes them tough. That's what really, 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 really makes them tough, and it really makes them go. Like I said, like it's going to be tough because you have those media people that's going to favor the vets, and at this point, I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of vets that's going to get awards that don't deserve it over some of these young guys. And I don't know if that's the agenda of that they want to play, as far as, you know, making young guys really, really earn it or make it rough for them. But at the end of the day, you got guys knocking on the door. Like, guys are knocking on LeBron's door. Guys are knocking on, you know, Kevin Durant's door. Like Kevin Durant, like I watched him play, and he's playing great because, you know, it's coming off of that Achilles injury, but he's slim. He's still the Reaper, but, you know, he's not moving as quick and being as elusive as he once was. And that comes with age sometimes. Like, people have to understand that. You have to know when a player's starting to hit that other side of their career. So,
yeah. And listen, this young class, these young NBA players, I'm excited. I can't wait till some of them get shoes so I can support them.
Listen, Trey.
Come on, send that size. Come on.
Trey, size 11.
Let's get
Adidas. I'll rock some Trey Youngs. I'm good on the Lucas. I don't think he has any, but I don't want him. Sorry, Luca.
No offense, Luca.
You cool, but Jordan don't really be doing it when it comes down to the signature shoes. But I want some LaMelo, Puma. We already talked. I'm just saying. With that being said, speaking of, Adidas has been locking up a lot of the young talent recently in the draft. Nike's been more strategic. Adidas seems to be more negligent to those young vets, though, because I believe Zach LaVine and Brandon Ingram are shoe free agents. They've both been wearing Nike recently, so I'd love to see Zach LaVine back at Nike. We're not here to talk that for anymore. So, you got anything else you want to say before we head out?
Nah, man, young guys keep balling. I love it.
Yes. Youth keep strong. Love to see the youth of the game. We're going to probably start looking at college and then high school, which is starting to come out. I know tryouts is actually within these next couple of days out here in Florida. So, you know, looking forward to a lot of teams. I know the central area of Florida has got a lot of talented high schools. You have Montverde, you have West Oak, you have Windermere Prep, you have
IMG,
you have Dr. Phillips, you have IMG. A lot of these teams got a lot of talent, and I ain't even mention some other teams out there. So if you want to see some good basketball and you have some vacation days, November to January, that's your clock to get down here for a quick vacation and watch some good basketball. So until next time, like I said, subscribe, like, share, so that way you can hear one of our next episodes. Hit us in the comments, hit Elise up on Twitter. Her tag will be down there in the description. Today's episode is brought to you by us. Continue to walk in your greatness, and until next time, shine in it.
Peace.
Love it here.